All right. Well, cave story.
Wambu,
Yeah.
do you have any like semi-final thoughts? What you thought of it so far?
I'm glad that we played it. It's definitely been a fun ride. Yeah, I like. There was some. I guess it's one of those things where I kind of don't like the sections where we had like just a ton of hoops to jump through. Like when we were saving Curly Brace, and it was just like it was all this really vague shit we had and very specific stuff we had to do to save Curly Brace. I thought that was kind of dumb, but it's one of those things where it's so dumb and so obtuse that I'm like never going to forget it, and it sort of made the experience more memorable because of how ridiculous and obtuse it was.
I think what his original intent was for it to be so hard to get that like only the most hardcore of players would actually find it. Like, he had that mentality, is what I'm thinking. Because, like, there are some old games, like, where you would just not think about that sort of thing, going about that sort of way.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd have, like, you know, where you'd have to get, like, a strategy guide to actually find out about this sort of thing. Or, like, he probably had that mentality in mind.
Yeah. I guess it's one of those things that, like, doesn't age quite as well just because we're in, like, the internet era. And, like, finding information on how to do this stuff is, like, readily available.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not exactly something you could entirely fault the game for in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, overall, I think this was fun. I wouldn't put it among, like, my favorite games ever or anything, and I don't even think I would even necessarily put it among games that like I think are amazing, but it was definitely enjoyable.
Yeah.
And I can
Would you put it on games that you would agree that are pretty influential?
Yeah, I would agree that this game's like pretty influential and pretty important to video game history.
Yeah.
This game basically made the indie exist
In the state it is currently.
Yeah.
Like, say what you want about Cave Story, you can't deny its importance.
Yeah.
Like, Legend of Zelda has not aged well at all. Metroid has not, but people respect them as very important parts of our gaming culture.
Yeah.
And like, if you don't like Cave Story, I think that's fine. But, like, I think it's just important to remember that even, like, despite all that, like, there's still a good game in there. There's still a very accessible game.
Yeah, I still like it quite a lot.
Wait till we get...
I think...
Sanctuary. Which is just like, oh, Vance, why play this game?
Yeah, I think Wave Story, like, the series Wave Story has been, like, definitely one of the funnest ways I could have experienced this.
Yeah.
Like, without you guys around to, like, I guess explain some stuff,
And make really bad jokes.
I wouldn't say that I would rage at this, but I'd think that I'd maybe get bored at it.
Yeah. And like I said, it is a little bit, especially that last stretch is pretty BS before we get to hell. And
I can't believe you said a bad word, Wave.
Yeah, and there's definitely some like really like unintuitive stuff in the game, like the whole like even when you know about like saving Curly's really annoying.
Yeah.
And being
I'll attest to that too. It's pretty annoying, but like.
Yeah.
At the same time, like Wong said, it's very hard to forget about because it's so out there.
Yeah, I feel like the final fight maybe could have been stronger, just because like I feel like that was like difficult just because. Well, it wasn't that difficult. It was more just like a lot of stuff was happening, and it's like a little bit hard to focus. But it's like you kind of pointed out, like, oh, it's actually kind of surprising how little the core attacks you, and it's true. It's actually really easy to focus the other two, and then
And I
just,
understand why they did it, because if they made it really hard after like 3 decently tough boss battles, it would have been.
That can easily chew away your HP if you're not careful.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you are careful, they'll still sneak a pot shot or two. And they do like some heavy damage.
Yeah. So, hope you enjoyed Wave's story.
Look, he got down on his knee just to say, "Thank you for enjoying my game."
Yeah, quote has this to say, and that's translated to "Thank you so much to playing my game."
Nah, this was fun, and I mean, if this is the end of Wave's story, then it's like, it's been a fun series, and I look forward to whatever we tackle next.